Hey guys, it's me, Hannah. I decided to do a Draw My Life today, so I think I'll start from the beginning. I was born in Australia, in a place called Middle Swan, which is in Perth, which is in Western Australia, to my mum, Kathy, and my dad, Greg. And I had white blonde hair, and we were a little Australian family, and we were very hot all the time, because it was very hot in Perth. And it was lovely, and I enjoyed it a lot. Anyway, over there, my mum always used to do these big birthday parties for me. Like, one year she did a Peter Pan party, and it was amazing. And she painted all of the rooms in the house, and all of the rooms were a different part of Neverland. And it was really impressive, actually. And that's me dressed as Peter Pan, though. Actually, I came as Tinkerbell because, you know, what girl doesn't want to go as Tinkerbell to her own party? And my dad borrowed this big fluffy pink blouse from my mum to dress up like a pirate, and he wore this big hat and was stomping around the whole house, terrifying all of my friends, and it was hilarious. And I thought it was amazing. And he wore these big baggy pants as well, and going, "Arr, g'day," you know, in an Australian accent, which was hilarious. When I was 3, my parents split up, but it didn't really matter because I was only 3 and I didn't really know what was going on. I just thought my dad had a different house, really. And they stayed friends forever, and, you know, they moved in sometimes and lived as friends and moved out. And it was quite interesting, really, growing up with that kind of relationship. It was different. It wasn't a proper relationship, it was friends, but it was lovely that they could be friends. And every day my dad would cycle me to school on the back of his bike, but he didn't have like a proper seat that kids sit on. He had just like something you strap like bags to, so I just sort of sat on there and held on for dear life. And that's me going, oh my gosh, I'm going to die, because I thought I was going to die. I went to a little primary school called St. Bridget's, which was a little private Catholic school, and I had to wear this little blue dress with like yellow trim and this big blue hat, because you couldn't go outside without a hat on, because otherwise you get sunburnt. And it was awesome. I loved it. I had loads of friends, and we used to go on adventures and round the school every day. It was just generally awesome. It was a good time. I enjoyed it a lot. And every day we'd lie down and sing Puff the Magic Dragon, which I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing for kids to sing, but I loved it. It was awesome. My life was awesome. When I was 6, my mum decided that she missed England and wanted to move back. And obviously, being her daughter, I wanted to move back with her because I didn't really want to leave her. So we decided to make the big trip and move back. So I said goodbye to my dad and goodbye to Australia, and we moved there, and it was very cold and rainy, and I didn't really like it. And the first place we went to, I went to little primary school in this place called Kilgerran in Wales, and they all spoke Welsh, and all the lessons were in Welsh, and I had no idea what was going on. And I got bullied really badly, so I had a horrible time, and I was very sad and lonely and shy, and I didn't know anyone or anything. So we moved to Kimbolton to live with my grandma and my granddad, and my grandma spent loads of time teaching me maths and teaching me manners, and it was great. And I went to this little primary school called Kimbolton, where I did like lots of plays with the school, and I became so much more confident because of acting. And then from there I went to a little primary school in Hereford, and it was difficult because I had to make friends again, and it was scary, and I became very shy again. High school. In high school, the first 2 years of my high school sucked. I hated them. I didn't have many friends, and I was really shy, and I didn't enjoy it at all. But then in year 9, I met these 2 girls, one called Souffle and one called Katie, and they are still my best friends now. And I love them, and they've been through so many different things with me, and they've been there and said that they loved me. And so the next 3 years of my high school were amazing, and I was so happy and confident, and I was able to be me, which was amazing. In year 10, I used to have lessons with Mr. Weston in drama, and that started my love for drama and acting. And I was in a Shakespeare play with him, and he'd tell me that I should do acting, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I should do acting. So I decided that that's what I wanted to do with my life, and it was amazing to have someone believe in me like that. So I went to the Hereford College of Arts, where I did a BTEC in performing arts, and it was awesome because I got to do singing and dancing and acting every single day. And these teachers were telling me that I was actually good at this, and I realised that this is like the first time that I was actually talented at something, and that I could do it. And I came into my own. I discovered who I was and who my personality was. However, in the second year, I got quite depressed and thought, I am never going to reach my goals. I'm never going to be who I want to be. And I had no idea what to do with my life. But Sophie and Katie were always there, telling me that they loved me and that they were here for me and that I was amazing. And I loved them for it. When I was 18, instead of going to uni, I decided to take a gap year, and I flew to Australia. And I stayed with a family called the Leams, and they were absolutely amazing. They were so hospitable, and I stayed in Brisbane, which is in Eastern Australia, and they showed me around, and we went to the beach every day and had picnics, and I saw turtles laying eggs in the sand, and I saw frogs and snakes, and it was the best time ever, and I love Australia. Then I flew back to England, and in the September of 2010, I started university at Worcester doing performing arts, because I still wanted to be an actor. And I did freshers, and it was amazing. And I got really drunk and had the best time, and I was so excited, and I was starting life and meeting all these amazing new people. And it was awesome. However, in October of 2010, my dad died, and that was possibly the most difficult thing that I've ever had to deal with, and still is the most difficult thing that I've ever had to deal with. And I felt so lonely and empty and sad, and I decided that my priorities had changed, and I wanted to do something important with my life and make sure that I was happy. And so I decided to quit uni after I'd finished the year and get a job. And so here I am. 6 months ago, I started my YouTube channel because I miss doing drama, and I'm excited about life. I've still got a job, and it's not greatest, but I'm happy and excited. So that's pretty much my life. I'm really excited, and thank you for watching.